Oh, it's a bit steep to talk. Samuel Hill.
I'm on the vlog.
You're on the vlog, mate. You're on the vlog. What are we up to today? Where are we?
Well, as specific as I can be right now is Adelaide. Learning this place, learning where all the roads are, but what is it? Osmond?
Yeah, we'll go with that.
Yeah.
Directions are not Sammy's strong point.
No.
Here. Haven't seen you for a while. A little bit's happened. So I'd love to hear just a little bit about how you were placed, obviously, coming back from that whole experience.
Well, I'll start off with saying it's so good to get out of my cave and get some sunlight on the skin and just ride with people and do some descents. And I got back from Spain and had 3 weeks off, and it was a proper 3 weeks off.
How was the headspace coming back? Were you like wrapping the bike? Were you, where were you?
So no one else bought it, like always, but I had convinced myself that I was basically going to hang the bike up. And I did cross-country running before I got into cycling. And I thought I'd get back into that and maybe do triathlon or something. But yeah, after a week, I was running and my knees and ankles just said, no, you're not running. And yeah, I was limping around everywhere. And then it was after 2 weeks off, I thought maybe I'll get back into it. And then yeah, finished the 3 weeks and now here I am, about to do the Tour Down Under.
Anything coming away from the Zwift stuff, like any positives that you've taken away, or?
The Alps and Finish coaches were really happy with the power that I was doing. So as a positive, I'm happy with that, and what I want to work on next is just everything else that goes into bike racing. Maybe finally get to Sydney, embrace this whole COVID situation and just...
I know that it was pretty, well, you wouldn't have to be a genius to realise that it was a pretty confronting experience coming back from that, the highs and lows, so thanks for chatting about that, mate.
Yeah, not a problem.
What session did you do today, out of interest?
4 times 5 minute, except the 5 minutes of work was split into 30 on, 30 off. I always thought it'd be more of an anaerobic session, but coach had it down as VO2. But yeah, definitely got the heart rate and the chair sets up pretty early. Because
we've joined him later. That's when you want to be riding with Sam Hill, after he's done a few 30-second whacks. That's Australia's greatest bike path. Run and one.
Sure,
this is sick.
This is still good.
Yeah, this is like the Eagles, whatever you call it, guys. So cool. What were we up to there, Sammy?
We did a chop off impromptu. Classic J coil, not much word of warning. Roll through, flicks the elbow, and let's go, boys.
I find this really interesting. There's lots of, you're not far from anything, but it's really hard to get water. I think every single time I found myself down here, at some point I've been searching around a fire brigade hut or someone's front yard for water. And I've literally been like 15 k's from Adelaide. Anyway, just a word of warning, I'm sure you've all been down here and done this before. You found yourself doing that this morning, didn't you?
I ended up on a golf course. I was looking around everywhere.
And the good news is it's schnitty night tonight here. Schnitty night. I haven't ridden up close to you on a climb for ages, but it's interesting, you were getting out of the saddle more than I've seen you in the past. Is that something you're thinking a bit about, or just the steepness?
Yeah, it just depends on the gradient usually. It's like if I drop below a certain speed, if I'm labouring in the 39.28, then I'll get out of the saddle. And Corkscrew is pretty steep towards the end, so anytime I couldn't really get on top of the 39.28, I was out of the saddle.
Yeah. The reason I asked you that, Sam, is I'm a grinder, always have been. I just love sitting in the saddle and like, oh, I'm gonna grind her out. And then I get out of the saddle and I find like that first 10 seconds is just agony. Do you know what I mean?
Interesting, yeah.
Like, it's like you've got to clear all the, I don't know, lactic's probably not the right word, but then once I'm in that rhythm, I'm okay, but it's that first 10 seconds, it's just like, oh God, I'm stopping. Like, do you do seated and standing efforts?
I'll try and stay seated as much as I can. And when it becomes too much strain on the muscles, I get out of the saddle and it's like instant relief.
Yeah.
Like I can pick up the power even a little bit. And then your heart rate lifts because you're doing more power. And then eventually it's more efficient to get back down in the saddle. But it's kind of like when it becomes a bit too much, get out of the saddle and it's like the opposite, instant relief.
So yeah, average temperature on that ride was just over 33 degrees, which is pretty hot, and dry heat here, as you can probably tell by just my voice, and windy, dry. So guys, I've been running this base layer. Well, yeah, I've been running a base layer in summer now, for all summer. Do I think it's marketing BS, this whole running a base layer thing? What's my answer? I don't know, but I will say is this, I like running it. I really like running the base layer now, to the point that I will continue to do it. And it's weird, so I've tried to do about 70% of my rides in the base layer, and the other 30% was just to sort of remember what it feels like not to run it. And I prefer running the base layer. And I can't explain to you why, it just feels, I don't know. The same doesn't work for like a helmet, like running the cap under the helmet in summer. I see people doing that and people say that makes you cooler. Like, no, it doesn't. It just soaks up sweat and you just become this like slopathon. Jesse's theory is that in more humid conditions, because you're sweating more, that it keeps the sweat closer and it cools your body that way. Maybe there's something in that, but I've ridden it in real humid conditions around Berry and then this sort of dry heat, and I like it in both. So we'll say we're talking about a lightweight base layer. I'm not running like some sort of merino wool thing here. This is very much a lightweight thing. Yeah, today's ride was just over 100 Ks. It was hilly, 2,000 meters of climbing with, it was about 3.5 hours. Great to be out with Sammy. What did I eat and drink? Well, so I did no sugar today on my bottles because we're going to have a cruisy day tomorrow. So I just ran hydration tablets in my bottles, but I still went through 4 Cliff Bars. Went through 4 Cliff Bars in the ride. So tried to get my food in that way. And lots of water, heaps and heaps of water. So like I said, because it's a Rico-ish day tomorrow, I'm not too worried about refueling. Just a bit of a flex. I reckon, ladies and gentlemen, the old main veins. Right. Yeah, Norton Summit. I'm taking my phone. Shout out to the people of Norton Summit. If you act quickly, you can get a free Android Huawei phone. His phone fell out of his flappy jersey, which he had to flappy because he's not running a base layer. So you get to that spot in the next 20 minutes, there's a free phone for you. With lots of, I don't know, shit video ideas about Chris Froome's saddle height. How'd the search go? 25?
Failed, gone.
In awesome news, Jesse Coyle has lost his phone, which means it is shopping day for this boy, and my 1 year of bullying will pay off, and he is going to get an iPhone. But these two cameras are essentially the same things. I think the biggest difference would be if you start actually working on the phone a bit.
But what do you need a Pro to answer?
It's a nicer experience because you've got 120 hertz display, so you're sitting there using it, like, that's all. But everything else, you're in the ecosystem now. Yes, we have him.
By force.
Yeah. Oh, I totally just picked the pocket and threw your phone into Norton Summit somewhere. Can't use any of this footage either because I'm wearing a sleeveless top. So I'll just have to blur the whole thing out. All right, we'll see you tomorrow. Whether or not he has a new phone or not, you'll discover then. Farewell.